the boats and maybe they're all safe. No, let's be fair. They all drowned at sea. None of them can... It's found in the holes. So many holes. I do not currently have an on-screen death counter. Hang on. This will take 2 seconds to set up. It says, Pincher, 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 where are you? There you are. We'll read it from a file, I think. I suspect this number's going to go up. So let's get this set up. Decode. There is already insistence on that. That's it. No. Streaming. We're streaming. Custom labels. Move that over here. Okay. Well, this is going smooth. Streaming, custom labels, bullshit. Whee! Okay, are we happy now? Let's make sure it works. Almost works. Hello there! Welcome to How Much Can We Kill Alexander? Alignment right. Then I don't have to keep adjusting it. Ugh. Well, by the time we get into double figures, I can shift it. Okay. Oh, we're gonna get to the angry tomatoes. They're a bit off, but we're gonna get to the tomatoes. Okay. Let's do the obligatory. We've got an ocean.
The ocean is not as calm as it appears. Underwater currents tug at Alexander's legs.
There's something tugging at Alexander. Should we keep going? I mean, this is such an obvious one.
The ocean appears calm, but there's a dimpling pattern to the surface which indicates an undertow.
I mean, they even give it to you.
The ocean... The remains of Alexander's sailing ship lie dashed upon the distant shore. Rocks abound on this lush volcanic isle.
Sorry, Alexander.
Underwater tow is amazingly strong here.
They do.
Ferociously at
I mean, unlike...
legs. Before Alexander can retreat,
there we go.
Current grabs his legs. The shifting sand vanishes from beneath his feet.
I was going to say, they give you a couple of,
efforts, he is
you know,
dragged out to sea.
a couple of warnings. You got one warning.
The currents around the island pull Alexander under.
Bye, Alexander.
As Alexander struggles to the surface for the third and last time, he finds himself wishing he'd paid more attention to the warning signs of an undertow.
Did you not see the warning signs of the undertow? Good grief. We're going to get used to that.
Nothing like getting swept off your feet.
Swept off your feet. Okay. Well, we hardly knew you. Yep. Yep. We're going to need saves. Play. Okay, and we are... Why does that face?
Alexander's royal insignia ring lies abandoned on the sand. It must have slipped from his finger during the shipwreck. Fortunately, it was not lost in the sea.
Okay, let's go get the ring.
Alexander picks up his royal insignia ring from the beach.
Go have a look at the insignia ring.
Alexander's ring is made of the purest gold and has the insignia of the royal family of Daventry on its face.
There we go. And in the, I would say in the true, this bit's easy. We go click on the wood thing.
Alexander pushes the plank to one side.
There's a box.
The box has been partially buried under sand.
Not a speedrun, honest. What was that noise? Like a honk. And all that glitters...
Alexander takes the coin and leaves the ruined box where it is.
In this case, is a coin. It's like a foghorn.
Alexander is carrying a copper coin of Daventry. King Graham graces the front of the coin.
And he's always King Graham. Honk. Goose Quest. If we find a goose in this game, then we've walked straight out of 2 or 4. 4, I think. Okay. So we've got a town on the left and we've got the castle to the right. Which way would you like to go first, folks? Make a quick choice. Left. Let's have a quick check in the hole.
A hollow in the trunk of the old tree forms a perfect nesting place for wildlife.
Okie dokes. Off we go to the village. Town. Place. TV screen. I made the big screen! Well, the little big screen. Okay, so we're in a town. Not in a room, we're in a town. You have a pawn shop, we have a bookshop, and we have a merchant.
For new. Old lamps for new.
Let's talk to the crazy guy. We don't like that word. Let's talk to the old lamps guy. 42 inches for now.
Good day, sir. If you would like to get one of my fine new lamps, I'll need an old lamp in trade.
Isn't it a rather bad business? Taking old lamps and giving new lamps in exchange?
Well, there's always a chance that I'll find a genie.
He plays the lottery.
If I had a genie, I'd be richer than a king. Besides, there's always a roaring business in antique luminaries.
Okay, old lamps for new. Do I have an old lamp? I have a ring and I have a coin. Not yet. Okay, so bookshop, pawn shop, doorway. Where are we going? Books. I mean, always books. Check in the pots. Ooh. Pawn. P-A-W-N. Not the pawn shop.
Now, what can I do for you?
Okay. So we've got a black cloaked figure with a glinting eye. Yes, pawn shop. Mind, gutter. Or, you know, one step out of the gutter. Book on a table. And plenty of bookshelves.
A collection of children's books fill those shelves. Alexander is a little old for those children's books.
No one is too old for children's books.
Good day, sir.
The mysterious old man just ignores Alexander.
No, be honest.
Right now, Alexander is too involved with the journey he's on to take time to read about the journeys of others.
Okay.
Assorted travelogues and biographies are arranged on these shelves.
What goes into German porn?
These
This is how I get
shelves
my
hold a
channel
collection
restricted.
of oddly titled guidebooks. Alexander notices such books as How to Become King with Little or No Rupees Down.
That one's a good
Finding
one.
the Right Girl with the Right Dowry. And
That's a bad one.
Why Good Princesses Like Bad Wizards.
Oh, the 90s.
Thinking of Cosima, Alexander decides to leaf through one of the volumes of love poetry. He reads, Thy hair, thy lips, thy beauteous face,
Oh, fair enough.
and all thy studied female grace have won for thee anon a place within this broken breast.
He needs a doctor.
Not bad. And another. Upon the shore the lilies bend, untouched by worldly care, where shadow they her earthly bed, oh, that she were not there. Yikes. And another.
Yikes.
What was it when I looked at you? What power has chained
I
me
mean,
through and through?
Mixing
and
the
binds my
alcohol,
heart
mixing
so
vodka with just
tight,
raw sugar.
I cannot live without the sight of you. What nameless thing has captured me and made me powerless to flee? What thing is it without a name that brings
excuse
my
me.
mind e'er back the same to thee? The name of love cannot apply. Its commonness does not decry the haunted, hunted, painful cry that my heart makes for you, that e'er my soul eternal makes for you.
A little close to home, that one.
Alexander returns the love poem book to the shelf.
Oh, you're damaging books.
Alexander picks up the fallen page. It's the love poem he particularly liked. It must have fallen out of the poetry book.
There
I
we
see
go.
that old volume has lost another page. You may keep it if you like, sir. I have glued the stubborn thing back in place 2 times already.
I do rather like it. Thank you, merchant.
So he's selling books with pages missing.
Alexander is not interested in those self-help books. Alexander rests his feet for a moment. Alexander picks up and leafs idly through a book called The Changing
page?
Role of Court Entertainers Through the Ages. Well, that was refreshing. Alexander picks up the book from the small table.
Oh, yes, please, take that book. You have my most humble thanks for doing so, good sir.
Really? Thanks.
Okay. Let's have a look at the book.
Alexander is carrying a book from the bargain table in the bookshop.
Does it
That
read?
object-
There we go.
Alexander opens the bargain book and reads a paragraph at random.
Dodgy book. Ajaba.
Dulcimers raised to the degree of 40 half-dulcimers, divided into equal parts by the third of a cackle of grouse geese, put over the result of 10 fine mackles, albeit small fine mackles, stretched over the total.
This is
of
the new A-level
3
syllabus.
1/8 bottles of wild beast lard.
Phew, what an incredibly boring book. No wonder the bookshop owner wanted to get rid of it so badly. The shopkeeper doesn't look like he would enjoy a good arm wrestle or any other sort of physical exertion. He's rather bookish.
Now, it looks like there's something hanging on the side of the chair, but I think it's just the lighting. I could be wrong.
Alexander picks up and leaves. Well, that was refreshing.
Yes.
The old man would not be interested in anything that Alexander might show him.
Let's talk to the bookkeeper. Oh, actually, what's that?
An antique leather-bound book
There we go.
is displayed on a little stand on the counter. On the elaborate cover is the title, Ye Useful Book of Magic Spells.
Oh. Now let's talk to him.
Good day, merchant. Can you tell me what land this is?
Why, certainly. This is the Isle of the Crown, the main isle of the land of the Green Isles.
Thank the fates. I knew I was close when we sank, but I dared not hope. Tell me, how fares your Princess Cassima?
The princess? She is well enough, I suppose.
Is she near?
The castle of the Crown on the hill, sir. And good luck.
Why?
What can you tell me about the land of the Green Isles?
Points, points, points,
That
points.
is a big question, young man. Perhaps you will be so kind as to first tell me who you are and what exactly you want to know.
My name is Alexander. You said that this is the Isle of the Crown, but I'd like to know whatever else you can tell me about this island. And if there are other islands nearby.
Hello!
This island is called the Isle of the Crown because the
We're in early stages. We've only killed Alexander once.
Besides the castle, we also have this village and the docks over to the west.
Our kill per minute rate is definitely dropping.
The Isle of the Sacred
So,
Mountain, the Isle of
4,
the Beast,
3.
and the Isle of Wonder.
Hang on.
At least 3?
Yeah, at least 3.
Does no one know for certain?
I mean, maybe.
This is no ordinary land, Alexander. The land of the Green Isles has always been a place of
You know,
vague
patience,
bounds.
patience.
As islands come and go. Legend speaks of a fourth island, an isle shrouded in mists. I myself have never seen it. Then too, the land of
You're
the
just
Green
vying for
Isles
blood
is said
now.
to exist on the boundaries of this world and the next. Even darker places are reputed to be closer here than anywhere else in the
Yeah,
world.
we're supposed to be solving things, you know, it's not... Thought that was the point of these games. Well...
Local superstition. We who live here on the Isle of the Crown, at least, sleep well enough at night.
These are the haves versus the have-nots.
How might I learn more about them?
Here we go.
Ideally, a young man seeking such knowledge would travel to their shores and learn about them firsthand. Meeting the leaders of each place would be helpful, naturally. Unfortunately, the ferry no longer runs between the islands. There has been much political unrest, and it has been too dangerous to travel for years. Perhaps the ferryman can tell you more.
Go talk to the ferryman.
He has little enough to do these days, and if you haven't been there already, you might seek an audience at the castle.
There we go.
Thank
And go
you
talk at
kindly,
the castle.
merchant, for all your good advice.
Ah, but advice is free, Alexander. Making use of it costs much more.
Maybe.
How fare you, merchant?
Quite well, thank you. I just finished a wonderful book on geological rock formations. Fascinating.
Okay. So we've got everything we're going to get out of him for now. Okay. Pawn shop. not pawn shop. Good day. We're going to get a lot of good days.
Good day, merchant. What can you tell me about the land of the Green Isles?
I can tell you she is in a dark time. Without the ferry, communication between the islands has ground to a halt, and so nearly has my business. Why the long ages of peace have ended, and why the crown has not done something about it is beyond me. But then, I am a shopkeeper, not a politician, and can only hope for better days.
Okay.
How ride you, good merchant?
Quite
And-
well, though a purchase would not hurt me any.
Okay. Let's have a look at his table.
Alexander takes a closer look at the items on the counter.
I see you have noticed my mechanical nightingale. She is made of plain tin, but she sings the sweetest song you can imagine, barely distinguishable from the real thing. The flute is only made of plain wood, but its notes are fine and true. Ah, yes, the painter's brush. It was well used by one of the island's best painters. There's a lot of creativity in that brush, and its bristles are still in good condition. Have you an interest in tinder boxes? This one is only slightly battered. It holds a good supply of flint, a sturdy striking pad, and even a candle in case you find yourself with naught else to hold the flame.
Okay. So let's take one.
I'm interested in that mechanical nightingale on the counter.
What do you desire to give me in trade? The items on the front counter are all of equally slight value, worth only a copper or two. They are handy items nonetheless.
Okay. So he
The
will
pawn shop.
oops. He will take items in exchange. Let's do a quick save. Let's have a nosy round the shop.
Towering mightily over the other pawn shop curiosities, the stuffed bear makes an ostentatious display. The pawn shop is a dimly lit place with a slightly musty smell. Curiosities litter every corner and every shelf. For sale are articles that range from the bizarre to the commonplace, from the priceless to the practical. A strange-looking winged device occupies one corner of the room. It is frail with disuse. Alexander finds it intriguing. Perhaps he thinks it was once used in a local sporting event, in which enthusiasts jumped from cliffs, glided on air currents, and then attempted to land, frequently crunching a bone or two in the process.
How did Alexander get
Alexander
to...
shudders at the thought and decides to stick to dragon slaying.
Fair enough. How did Alexander get to that from 2 wings?
The back wall of the shop holds various odds and ends. For example, a hull hole detector for finding those hard-to-spot holes in small sailboats. Cat cookie mix. Play tricks on your friends, the box says. A golden bridle finder for finding those nearly invisible golden bridles. Self-adhesive emeralds, what you use when you don't have honey. Tongue climbing gear, tested on over 100 whale tongues. A uvula tickler, guaranteed to make large mammals sneeze. A cheese hook for retrieving cheese out of small holes.
Hang on. That moment where you realise that at least half of these are items from previous games.
Guaranteed not to break for over 100 grave diggings. A bridge repair kit for when you've crossed a bridge one too many times. Stair traction pads. Stop slipping off those narrow staircases.
That's a Thor reference.
A hull hole detector.
Okay. Who needs callbacks? Yeah.
The back wall of the shop holds various bottles and potions.
Uh-huh.
For example,
Wait for it. Oh, no!
a bottle of Gnome Begone.
No, me gone.
Miniature carpet cleaner for those
Castles in a bottle.
Bird's nest soup mix, treasure not included. Garlic, especially grown for vampire resilience.
Ah,
Magic mirror glass cleaner for when your future looks fuzzy.
that'll be quite useful.
Shark repellent.
Shark repellent!
A small box of enchanted sorcerer's flea and tick collars. A bottle of gnome beak.
Okay, we're going round now.
A few well-aged barrels probably hold assorted smaller goods and perishables.
Okay.
Several half-burnt wax candles have been placed among the other pawn shop items. They probably light the shop at night.
Shark repellent is very useful if you're swimming. It's also very useful if you're 1966 Adam West Batman. Right, go talk to the ferryman. See you later, go enjoy your tea. Ah.
The girl is too...
You lazy thing! Get back to work and stay away from those roses! I've told you a million times, those flowers are too sweet for the likes of you! You've still got to do the breakfast dishes, make lunch, and clean the stables yet this morning! And get your veil back on! No one wants to look at your face!
I love the way that Alexander manages to take one step between every one of those statements. Just going to catch up with that.
Alexander has not been invited to pick the family's roses.
Let's have a look at the roses.
Beautifully cover the top of the house's fence and gate arbor.
Can we go in?
The gate is closed. It appears that the house's owners like their privacy.
The gate is closed at approximately knee-high.
Alexander doesn't want to intrude on private property unless he's been invited.
Call yourself an adventurer.
There's nothing to do there.
There's a rock. Plenty to do there. Come on, Alexander. Next screen. Oh.
Hey, stranger, come join me. The water is wonderful, and I can show you the way to the next island.
Let's talk to the nice kid.
Good day. I'm Alexander. What are you doing in the sea?
What does it look like I'm doing? I'm swimming. I mean, come join me. The water's wonderful. I can show you the way to the next island.
What do we reckon?
Join me if you're brave enough.
Ready?
What are you waiting for? I said I'd show you how to get to the next island, didn't I?
Dive, dive, dive.
Considering the poor condition of the shore, it looks like the easiest way to get into the water is just to jump off the pier.
Here we go.
The powerful currents grab Alexander. Struggle as he might, he feels himself being pulled out to sea.
Not a very good swimmer, are you?
Help me!
Sorry, I think not.
As his
Bye.
head submerges for the third time, Alexander finds himself pondering the wisdom of going out on a limb for a stranger.
Off we go.
Alexander couldn't handle those currents. That boy must be an unbelievably strong swimmer.
Or Alexander may just be a little bit dumb. Okay, water is wet.
Come on, jump in. A little water won't hurt you.
Yeah, it might. It might just do that. Let's leave him be.
What are you waiting for? I said I'd show you how to get to the next island.
Let's go knock on. Actually, before we do,
That boat is...
let's have a look at the boat. Bye!
That's strange. The young boy in the water just
You like that one?
disappeared. Oh well, perhaps he just dove under the water. A worn wooden vessel has been dry docked on a jetty. The boat is in sad shape. A hole in the hull and the condition of its boards make it obvious that the vessel is no longer seaworthy.
There's a hole in the
A
hull.
good-sized hole in the boat's hull indicates that it's not fit for the sea. Alexander wonders if the hole was the reason the boat was dry docked, or if the tear was caused by the dry docking.
Ooh. Try that. That's because the audio comes in off the synthesizer, not from the game.
Yeah, what do you want?
Alexander promises himself that he will not go home until he has determined what
Pixel.
Casima's feelings are for him.
Yeah.
If she needs his help. Alexander...
No, I want to talk to him.
My name is Alexander. The owner of the bookshop in the village told me you might be able to help me. I hear you used to run this ferry for the islands. I'd like to talk to you if you have a moment.
You say old Allie sent you?
Old Allie sent you?
Can't see why. The ferry's not running, you know.
I understand. I'd just like to talk to you about the islands if you don't mind.
Well, I guess it'd be all right if Allie sent you. Well, don't just stand there. Come on inside.
There we go.
What is it you wanted to talk about, young man?
I mean, we've got to deal with the thing in the room.
There's a rabbit's foot on the table. It seems the ferryman is counting on a little luck. Alexander is sitting inside the ferry's cabin. The place displays the neatness of a seaman and the sparseness of a bachelor. There are few frills and comforts in the rough wooden environment, but the sunlight shines cheerily on the oaken beams, and the portholes admit a pleasant breeze.
Yeah, but what about the picture?
Alexander...
No.
Alex...
No.
Alexander...
No.
Alex...
No.
Alex...
No. Okay, fine. It's not a thing.
A cabinet with a dry sink lines one wall of the cabin. Several oil lamps are strategically placed around the boat's cabin to illuminate the island's dark nights.
Fair enough.
There's nothing of interest on that.
I see you have a rabbit's foot. Has it brought you much luck?
As you can see, my luck's been out for some time now, despite that old charm. Why don't you take it with you? Perhaps giving the darn thing away will bring me good fortune at last.
Perhaps it will at that.
Time to start accumulating all the crap we can in the game. Right.
I'm a visitor to these islands. I'd like to learn what I can about the area.
So you said outside. What is it you want to know?
Well, for one thing, why has the island's only ferry been dry docked?
Good question.
Huh. It just ain't safe to sail these days. What with the islands feuding and all. Wazir Al-Hazred ordered the ferry closed till things settled down. Me, I don't think she'll ever see water again.
No.
But why are the islands feuding?
You got me. Something about stolen property or some such thing. 'Tis a real shame. Things used to be so friendly.
Then this unrest is recent.
Dum
A
dum
few years is
dum.
all, but it's been long enough.
Perhaps if the ferry were repaired.
This old thing? This ferry's been out of water so long she's no longer even seaworthy. Her boards have dry rot. She'd fall apart at the first taste of seawater.
I know how she feels.
But there must be some way to get off this island.
There's only one other way to travel that I know of. A magic map.
A magic
The owner
map.
of the pawn shop can tell you more about that than I can, Alexander.
Okay.
Tell me more about the ferry.
I remember when I used to ferry Queen Ilaria and Princess Casima themselves. There was no thought of danger back then. They used to go visiting to care for the needy and to keep up the friendly relations between the islands. I remember their last trip. Things had started getting nasty by then, and when they came back aboard, I gathered that the Queen and the Princess had been received a bit coldly. Princess Casima was such a pretty thing, and she was terribly
All
upset.
princesses have to be
But who
pretty.
could be spreading these lies, she asked the Queen, but the Queen had no answer.
Ooh.
What do you do now that the ferry no longer operates?
Good question.
Me? I'm out of a job. The job my ancestors have held for generations. I'm the only one trained to avoid the reef and the rocks. But that knowledge does me no good now.
Is there no other boat on the island? One that might be more seaworthy?
Boats don't last long on these shoals, as you may have found out if you got here by ship. You can be quite sure that this old ferry is, or was, the only craft on the island.
It does seem like a bit of a problem to have one seaworthy vessel on the entire island.
Tell me more about Princess
what was one
Cassima.
seaworthy vessel.
Ah, such a beautiful child, and so pure of heart. Why, a contrary thought has never crossed her mind.
Bullshit.
Her mother was the same. The king and queen. They served the islands, not the other way around. Always thinking about the people. Ah, they are sorely missed.
What happened to them?
What else can you tell me about the land?
Let's see. The Isle of Wonder's a lovely spot. A bit crazy, mind you. Gotta have a good sense of humor to enjoy a tour there.
Isle of Wonders.
What else can you tell me about the land?
The Isle of the Beast is pretty, but unfortunately, you can't get very far onto the island.
What else can you tell me about the land?
The inhabitants of the Isle of the Sacred Mountain are the most gorgeous creatures you'll ever see. If
Yeah,
you ever
they're
get
alright.
to see them, that is.
What else can you tell me about the land?
The Castle of the Crown sure is a beauty. She's the finest palace ever built, I'll warrant.
What else can you tell me about the land?
Some say that the land of the Green Isles is near the edge of the world, and that the deadly currents are a result of a magnetism that sucks life from this world to the next. Of course, that's just silly talk.
That's just silly talk.
What else?
Let's see. The Isle of Wonder's a lot.
There we go. He's now repeating. So, we've got everything we're going to get out of him.
Well, I think I'll be going now.
And the pawn shop
Thanks for
has a
allowing
magic
me to
map.
go home.
Or Ali at the
Not
pawn
at
shop can
all.
talk about a magic
It
map.
breaks the boredom,
Excuse
if you
me.
know what I mean.
So let's go find out about this magic map. I think it's time to enable crazy mode for a moment. Whee! And back to regular speed. Okay, in we go. Whoa. Somewhere between the two, folks. Usually tweak the pants out of that. There we go. Oh!
Hey!
Our guy in black is over here now. Oh, we didn't pick up one of those, did we?
Alexander takes a mint.
Now, I can't remember if this will work or not.
Alexander decides to be friendly and offer the old man a mint.
Would you care for a mint, sir?
No, thank you. I'll get my own mint from the dish when I want one.
Ah, he's talking to us.
Good day, sir.
The old man just...
Okay, we were told to go and talk.
Excuse me, merchant, but the ferryman mentioned that you might have a magic map of the land of the Green Isles.
Why, as a matter of fact, I do. I keep it under the counter. It's been gathering dust so long that I nearly forgot about it. It was quite a few years ago, you see. The estate of a wealthy wizard fell into my hands when he died. It was useless magical junk mostly, which reminds me, I've still got some things of his in the back that I need to dump out.
There we go.
Anyway, the magic map was the one true treasure in the lot. The wizard was quite old and feeble and had enchanted the map to aid in traveling. It is said that one need only desire to be on an island depicted on the map to find oneself there. It is a very valuable map, as you can imagine. Unfortunately, no one is interested in traveling these days. It is far too dangerous with the current state of the kingdom.
What would you take for the map?
I would normally want something magic in return, But since I am hardly overrun with prospective buyers, I would be willing to take anything of equal value in exchange.
Okay. Let's give him the ducal ring.
Would you be willing to take my family ring in exchange for the magic map?
Daventry, are you a king then?
No, that's my father, King Graham. I'm just...
Who utterly refuses to shuffle off the mortal coil, despite multiple attempts.
Are you sure you can part with such a unique family heirloom?
The ring does mean a lot to me. I didn't always have a family, you know. Still, it is only gold. There are more important things at stake now.
Then you now own a magic map, Prince Alex. I will keep your ring out of sight for a few days. If you find anything else of great value in your travels, you can come back for your ring. I would hate to see it melted down for gold. Ah, and a warning about the map. It will only operate when you are out in the open and within sight of the sea. The limitation has something to do with the teleport spell ingredients. You might try the beach.
Okay.
Thank you. You are very kind. And I'll remember about the map.
Suddenly, the old man in the concealing cloak sneaks past Alexander, and with a sneaky dart of his hand, steals a mint from the candy jar. The old man stuffs the mint into his mouth and wobbles unsteadily out of the pawn shop.
Out you go. Bye. Like and subscribe.
Master, I was observing in the village as you wished, and I saw a manger.
A manger?
Danger? No, a stranger there. He says, he's Prince Blamantander of Slaventry.
I mean, Prince Bladamanter of Smaventry works for me.
You fool! You've been eating those mints again. I ordered you to stop that. Yes, Master. Now, who did this stranger say he was? Prince Salamander of Pageantry.
Salamander of Pageantry.
You idiot. Are you trying to tell me that Prince Alexander of Daventry is here? Confound it! That's the young man Cosima met at Mordak's castle. The timing could not be worse. Tell me, what is he doing? He was in the pawn shop buying a magic smap. Magic smap? What is this magic smap?
It's the new trendy drug all the kids are taking.
Travel to other islands, Master. That's a map, you dolt! Oh, drat it all. I thought I took care of the only means of travel. By my scimitar, I can't have him stirring things up. Not now!
By my axe. By my
Get a
scimitar.
hold of yourself and listen.
By my
carefully,
typewriter.
Shamir. Go to the other islands and tell them...
Tell them what? I mean, we got insight into a conversation that we clearly have no way of having insight into. Great. But why stop there? Salamander of Pageantry. Okay. So, there's a bunch of items on his counter. Our dude for the lamps has disappeared. We still need to go and seek an audience at the castle. Ooh.
A nightingale perches on a high branch of the tree. She sings the most beautiful song Alexander has ever heard.
Hello, Nightingale. What a lovely tune you sing.
Nope.
Hello,
The nightingale only looks at Alexander suspiciously and continues to sing.
Nightingale. Oh, Smurf.
Alexander firmly addresses the guards at the Castle of the Crown, determined to get an audience with Cassima.
Good day, guard dogs. I am Prince Alexander of Daventry, and I would like...
Prince Alexander of Daventry? He's the one, Wolf.
See here now. We've been warned about you. Wazir al-Hazred has issued strict orders that you're not to be allowed anywhere near the castle.
Me? But I haven't even met the Wazir.
Never mind your excuses. You're on our list of undesirables and will not be getting into the castle today or any day. Now off with you.
Alexander is up to no good, but I find it interesting that that exchange has happened already, so we're going to do a restore. Back to water is wet, which is interesting.
What are you waiting?
Come on. We're going to quickly skip through this. I know why it's happened, but I think that's a first for me.
Yeah.
What do you want? Old Ali sent me.
Alexander...
Excuse me.
You say old Ali sent you?
I understand.
No, we don't want to swim.
Well, I guess it'd be...
So we've already done this once, so I'm going to be exceptionally rude.
What is it you...
Going to grab the rabbit's foot.
I see.
Why don't you...
Grab it.
Perhaps
Grab it.
I'm a bit...
So you said...
Well? But what...
Islands feuding. Wait for my ding.
But there...
There's
Tell
That's
me
the
more.
magic map.
They used to...
That should be the ding I need.
The fair...
Oh, nope. Out I go.
Pie.
Giver information's nice, but we only need the ding that says go talk to Ali. Turn it into zippy mode. Don't go get the map yet. Wander up to the castle. He's still there. Sing Sing's not back yet, so in we go. Okay.
Excuse me, guardsmen. Guard dogs. I've been traveling for months to see Princess Cassima. I would like an audience, please.
I'm sorry, but the princess is not receiving visitors, particularly not strangers.
Strangers.
Alexander decides to show his royal insignia ring
And we're
to
in.
the Crown Guards. With all of his papers lost in the shipwreck, it is the only possible calling card he can think of.
Good day. I'm Prince Alexander of Daventry. I'm an acquaintance with Princess Cassima.
They didn't. The genie told the vizier. The viziers then told them.
Everyone says, let me just look at that ring.
That's how that one's played out.
Gruff? Kingdom of Daventry. Prince Alexander.
So if you pick up the map too soon, you can't get the audience at the castle.
What Captain Saladin thinks it is.
Is that true? I know the store exists. Ah!
The guard returns a moment later with a majestic-looking creature. Captain Saladin speaks with a voice that is gentle, but reflects a will of iron.
Prince Alexander of Daventry, I presume. I'm afraid I'm unfamiliar with your country, but I'm sure Wazir Al-Hazred will want to meet you, if indeed you are a friend of the princess. Please follow me.
Oh, you got such a beautiful mane. I just want to ruffle it. Somehow I think that's not going to end well. Let's not ruffle his mane.
Lord Al-Hazred, a visitor to see you. Prince Alexander of Daventry.
No, it's Salamander of Pageantry.
Prince Alexander.
Pardon the intrusion, my lord, but I came to see Princess Cassima. Some months ago, my father, King Graham, saved my family and I from imprisonment under an evil wizard named Mordak.
The same wizard that kidnapped the princess?
Exactly. When my father rescued us...
Just to get the... We need to get an Alexander cap.
Then your father has my gratitude.
And then we get the photo against the sign.
But I'm afraid I still fail to see the purpose of your visit.
Well, I came to make sure that Cassima arrives safely and to pay my respects.
I know the genie's face is supposed to be in shadow, but it's not the look he's currently getting.
Invitation to visit.
I have no doubt she did exactly that at the time, Prince Alexander. However, things have greatly changed for Cassima since her ordeal in Mordak's castle.
Oh, noes.
Cassima's parents both became ill and died while she was gone. Cassima is sequestered in mourning for them as
remember,
its
folks,
princess.
murder is natural causes for royalty.
Of any kind. Even if she were, I do not think your visit would be appropriate. You see, it is time for Cassima to take her responsibilities seriously. With her parents gone, she no longer has the luxury to be a carefree maiden. As was her parents' wish, Cassima and I are to be wed. We shall rule the kingdom together. I assure you, our marriage is all Cassima wants now. As a prince and a gentleman, it would be best that you leave before there is any further...
I mean, where's he gonna go? His ship is shipwrecked.
I suppose that I was mistaken. I thought for certain that Cassima... Well, I apologize.
I thought that Cassima...
A young man sees what
you can't go island hopping yet.
I'm sorry
you're stuck here. You still don't have the map. He's shut down the only ferry.
Perhaps I will take the opportunity to look around your fair land while I'm here.
I would advise against that. The kingdom is rather, shall we say, inhospitable these days. But it is your neck. You may risk it if you please. Captain Saladin will escort you from the castle. Good day.
Such a good boy. Such a good boy.
You have had your hearing with Wazir Al-Hazred. I trust you'll respect his wishes and not return. I have been instructed not to let you into the castle again. Good day, my lord.
Captain Saladin whispers something to the guard dogs at the castle gate, and they nod with understanding.
Okay.
Alexander has a feeling they won't be letting him into the castle again.
That's alright, we've got options. Okay, quick save. Yeah.
Please, if you'll only be reasonable. I really must see the princess.
Begone! You're not welcome at the castle, Prince Alexander of Daventry. We have our orders, and they are quite clear.
Wow.
Please.
Begone!
Well, we're not going in that way. Let's go this way. Honest. Come on.
The side of the castle is one big blank wall. Vines have begun to climb the castle's stucco walls.
Vines.
The vines are too flimsy to support Alexander. The bushes are probably not hiding anything useful. Besides, they are too prickly to examine closely.
Okay. Well, off we go. Now.
Good day.
Good day. Go get our mint.
Alexander takes a mint.
Go talk
Excuse
about
me,
magic
merchant,
schmap.
But the ferryman mentioned that you might have a magic map of the land of the Green Isles.
Why, as a matter of fact, I do. I keep it under the counter.
We've had this conversation.
It is a...
What would you take?
I would...
Not sure if there's a way of getting
Good
rid of
day,
him.
sir.
The old man...
We know we can't give him the mint at this point. That becomes a thing for later. I think he's going to be witness to it, whatever.
Would you be willing to take my
David?
No.
Come on,
Well,
just Alexander. Just Alexander.
Ring
Just
does
Prince
mean a lot to
Alexander.
me.
Then you know. If you find anything else of great value in your travels, you can come back for your ring. I
That.
would hate to see it melted down for gold. Ah, and a warning about the map.
Thank you.
Okay. Here he comes.
Suddenly, the old man in the concealing cloak sneaks past Alexander, and with a sneaky dart of his hand, steals a mint from the candy jar.
He goes steals his mint.
The old man...
He wobbles off. And we should be back to where we were. Seconds later in the castle.
Matt!
Yep.
You fool!
Does this change?
Yes. Oh, Master! Now, what is this about a magic map? With the map, Prince Alexander could travel.
Oh, it is a bit different. Yes.
Quickly as I can. I thought I took care of the only means of travel. By my scimitar, I can't have him stirring things up now. Get a hold of yourself and listen carefully, Shamir. Go to the other islands and tell them...
Okay. Let's do a quick save. Salamander of Pageantry. Cool. The other thing we can do is we can...
I have this copper coin. Is it of any value to you at all?
Most interesting. I have never seen a Daventry coin before, but it is copper genuine enough. I might even find a buyer who is interested in foreign currency. The items on the front counter are the only things in the store that I can let go for the price of 1 copper. You may make your choice from there.
I am
Alexander
never
looks
sure
at the items on the counter to make his selection.
how people in fantasy games, in a lot of fantasy games, manage to... I want the Nightingale to start with.
That mechanical nightingale looks intriguing.
Ever managed
I
to
believe I'll
make
take it.
an income enough to
Very well. Your coin
support
is well
themselves.
spent. Remember,
Bookshop
this
is
a pawn
attempting to
shop.
sell
I
books
am
with
always willing
like
to
with
take back
missing
my own
pages,
goods in trade.
and doesn't appear to
I'll
have any
remember.
customers.
Thank you.
This is a closed economy with about 5 people on the entire island. The pawn shop again is hoping for a potential sale from a collector that clearly doesn't exist because closed economy. Even in barter, where's the food coming from? Okay, so we have a nightingale and we have a mechanical nightingale.
Alexander winds the mechanical nightingale and places it on the ground. nightingale sings a sweet, tinny tune. The real nightingale in the tree cocks her head and listens intently. The nightingale flies to a lower branch and looks at Alexander curiously, as if she were deciding that this human might not be so bad.
Oh, yokes. Right. This may not work straight off the gate.
Hello, little nightingale. Of what do you sing?
The nightingale only looks at Alexander curiously and continues to sing. Alexander holds out the poem to the nightingale.
There's our friend in the background.
To Alexander's surprise, the nightingale swoops down and grabs the page from his hand. The nightingale flies off towards the castle with the poem. Where might she be taking it?
Well, there goes the poem. I can't remember if that works immediately or if it's a later thing.
Alexander examines the tree's hollow, but finds nothing of interest.
Go back. Salamander of Pageantry. That must be a later step. But you know what we have right now?